Welcome to the Double Duty Agent Podcast. I'm your host, Carla Higgins, and you've tuned into the Coach's Corner. This is a segment where we tackle real world challenges submitted by our listeners, and sometimes I'll even call a strategic play you can put into action right away. Each week, we dive into the questions, roadblocks, and opportunities you're facing as a double duty agent. Whether it's mastering your time use management, finding that next client, or staying motivated after a long day of work at your 9 to 5, Coach's Corner is here to provide you with practical solutions and actionable steps to keep your business moving forward. So grab your notepad because we're about to break down a new challenge or hand you a winning play you can implement today to start seeing results. So let's jump right in. Hey there, double duty agents. Welcome back to another episode of Coach's Corner, where we tackle real world challenges for those of you managing two demanding careers or your real estate career and a full-time family commitment. And today's topic, I think, will really hit home for many of you. I want to start by sharing a message that came in from one of our listeners. I think this perfectly captures a struggle that I hear all the time, and it may be words that help you express how you may be feeling. Here's what she said. So much information and so many sources. Who should I pay attention to and who can wait? My watch goes off all day, Monday through Friday, of course, with emails, text, and social media posts. It's overwhelming. And by the time I get home to look at it all, I don't know where to start. Almost all of the training and networking events happen while I'm working my, for now, primary job. Even if I get a recording, I feel overwhelmed trying to prioritize and manage it all. Where do I find FSBOs? Who has the best CMAs? Am I the only one that feels lost? First off, let me tell you, if you feel this way, you are absolutely not the only one. You are in really great company. This overwhelm is common for double duty agents because you're attempting to balance two very complex worlds. One key thing to remember is this. You need to focus on your job responsibilities in real estate, just like you do in your primary job. You don't get lost in the weeds at work because you focus on what's most important for you to do your job well. This is what we do with real estate as well. And if you focus on your job responsibilities and you don't get lost in the weeds or focus on shiny things that are hitting your email, then I think this will help you feel less whelmed, underwhelmed. Is that a word? Underwhelmed. I'm going to help you feel underwhelmed. All right. So let's jump in. Job number one. Your number one job right now, if you're a brand new agent, is to build your skills. And these are just the foundational level skills. If you're at Keller Williams, these are all contained in the classes that are called Ignite. Okay. And I want to tell you about Ignite. Whether you're at Keller Williams or not, you are welcome to join us for Ignite After Dark. Ignite After Dark is on Tuesdays, and you have two different choices. You can either take Ignite After Dark from 6 to 8:30 Eastern time, or you can take Ignite After Dark from 6:30 to 8:30 Pacific time. Our Ignite After Dark, they're taught on Zoom, but they are live with an instructor, and an amazing instructor, I should add, because I have volunteer coaches from around the country who dedicate their time to helping you, the double duty agent, have live class instruction for those foundational building pieces of your business. So I will put in the show notes the registration links for Ignite After Dark, and you can jump in and join us. Our sessions run for 12 weeks, and each class is taught independent of the prior one, so you can jump in at any time. So, building your skills, if you're a brand new agent, that's where you should focus your energy. If you've already taken Ignite, you're not a brand new agent, and you have some transactions under your belt, then when we sit here at this number one job responsibility, focus on your conversation practice. Think about how much time you spend investing and learning in growing at your primary job. When you very first started, you didn't, I'm assuming, know your job. You had to invest some time to learn how to be successful at your other job, and real estate's no different. Uh, in order to be effective, you have to be good at what you do, and real estate is no different. The one thing that you need to really focus on for your real estate business is practicing your conversations, refining your communication skills, and being confident when you're speaking with clients. Conversation practice does not have to be 1 hour a day, 7 days a week. That isn't what we're talking about. We're talking about 15 to 30 minutes, maybe 3 to 5 times a week. It could be as simple as having a script practice partner, somebody that you've found that has a similar schedule to yours. And let's say you get off work at 5 o'clock and you decide that you're going to lead generate every day from 6 to 7:30. And so at 5:45, you call your script practice partner, your conversation partner, and you run through the conversations that you're planning to have that day. If you're calling your database, it could be whatever your database conversation that you've got planned, what value that you're going to be sharing with your database. You do that real quickly with your partner. You deliver yours for 10 minutes, 5 minutes. They deliver theirs for 5, 10 minutes. And then you move on and you make your calls, lead generation, but you practice your scripts. You also need to practice how to overcome objections, right? What happens when they say they're going to wait until the interest rate's low again? Do you have the objection handler for that? This is what we do is we build our skills by practicing our conversations. Training is essential, but the right training matters. Not just any training. So, just because the market center or somebody else online is having a training, if it isn't going to help you with your business right now, if it's not going to help you with your lead generation right now, then skip the class. You can be a full time student in real estate, but it doesn't pay very well. You have to be very selective with your time. And after you have finished Ignite, as long as you're practicing your conversations, then until you get your business to where you want it to be, that is your focus, right? You don't need to be taking all of those other classes about FSBOs and all of those things. Now, yes, you need to learn how to do a CMA, but that is a skill that you can build. And you actually build that skill more by practice than by taking a class beyond your initial class when you learn how to do it. So, focus on what is important, but you have to build your skills and practice your conversations. This is one of your 5 job responsibilities, but this should take the smallest amount of time of the 5, right? It's not a full time education program. That's not what we're looking at here. Job responsibility number 2 is lead generation, and that is just talking to people. This is not complicated. Don't overcomplicate it, right? Here's where so many agents get stuck. Lead generation feels daunting. It sounds scary. When something is scary, our ego wants to protect us and it says, no, 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 don't do it. Well, you're not going to be successful in real estate if you don't find people who need your help. And let's really talk about that, right? Let's break this down into really simple terms. Lead generation is not about complicated strategies or the perfect script. It's simply just talking to people, whether you're at your day job, at the grocery store, picking up your kids from school. You have opportunities every day to have these conversations. Who do you talk to that might need help with real estate? I say something, it sounds very flippant, but really anybody who wants to live indoors, right? Anybody that wants to live indoors, that's somebody you should have a conversation with. Who knows somebody who might want to buy or sell real estate right now? That could be anybody, everybody. Just start simple. Set a daily goal to talk to 5 people. If you follow the double duty 5 by 5, it's just talking to 5 people 5 days a week, right? Just talk to them. And then you ask them, who do you know that might need my help with real estate? Last week, we talked about the magic question, right? There it is. I told you why that works. It activates the reticular activating system. If you missed that 15-minute episode last Friday, you might hit rewind when we get all done and go back and listen to last Friday's episode, because that is all that lead generation is what we talked about last Friday. If you lead generate consistently, even in small ways, you'll find more business than you can even imagine is out there. And consistency is the key. It's a snowball effect. The more you do it, the better you get, and the more leads you'll have coming your way. So stop focusing on all of the other shiny objects out there and just have 5 conversations a day to start with. And if 5 conversations come really easy, then you can increase it by one, by two, by 10, whatever that is. And the more you conversations you have, the more opportunity you have for leads and the more closings you will have. It's just that simple. There is a direct correlation between the number of conversations that you have consistently every day and the number of closings that you have. All right. Job responsibility number 3 is lead follow up. Do not let opportunities slip through the cracks. Lead follow up is about staying in touch with anyone who has shown even the slightest interest in real estate. Someone who says maybe today could be a definite yes tomorrow. However, you have to keep those conversations going. If you plant the seed and they start thinking about real estate, and you do not stay in communication with them, the next time you call them, they're going to be inviting you to come over and see their new home. And you don't want that to happen. It's happened to every real estate agent, and it is not fun when it happens. So, the way we avoid that is that we lead follow up. A great way to stay on top of follow up is to create just a very simple system. This doesn't have to be complicated. Just make a list of names with the dates that you last talked to them and notes, and that's all you need. The goal is to make sure you're checking it regularly and providing value and staying front of mind when they're ready to move forward. Front of mind. If you listen to our mini series and we talked about time blocking, one of the time blocking strategies that I had when I was a double duty, dual career agent was I did all of my follow up on Fridays. I called it Follow Up Friday. And when I had leads that had said yes or maybe, and they became opportunities for me, I followed up with them on Fridays. And also, I followed up on Fridays with my current active clients, so a buyer or a seller. And I told them at their buyer strategy session or at their listing consultation that they would hear from me every Friday, whether anything had changed in their transaction or not. And I encouraged them that if they had a question along during the week, they didn't have to take their time to call me because I would be calling them on Friday and I could cover all of those questions that weren't urgent. I could cover all those questions for them. Now, think about this. What that did for me was it kept me from having that onslaught of phone calls all week long. And then I just called them every Friday. So, Follow Up Friday was a big strategy for me. But we have to have lead follow up. All right. If we've done our first 3 job responsibilities, we have practiced our conversations, we have lead generated, and we have followed up with our leads. Then we get the next 2 job responsibilities. One of them is going on appointments. Appointments are just your listing presentations, your listing appointments, and your buyer strategy sessions, also known as a buyer consultation. But I think buyers are much more excited about going to a strategy session than a consultation. So words matter sometime, and that's how I feel about that. But this is where all your hard work, when you were lead generating, having those conversations and following up, it starts to pay off. When you're meeting with clients, when you get the listing appointment, the buyer strategy session on the calendar, now you get to focus on helping. Forget about making this a sale for a minute and think about what the client needs. Do they need to sell their home quickly? Do they need guidance in making the best investment? Your job is to listen, understand their goals, ask lots of questions, and then offer solutions. The more you focus on helping them, on serving them, the more success you'll find. And yes, every conversation helps you get better. So don't worry if you feel nervous or underprepared at first. It's not about having more training. It's about the more you do it, the more natural it will feel. All right. Lastly, after we've had our appointments, we've got our listing, we've got our buyer, we get to negotiate contracts. Negotiation is one of the most important skills you can develop as an agent outside of your conversation skills. Whether you're representing a buyer or a seller, your ability to negotiate will impact how smoothly the transaction goes and how much money your client makes or saves. You likely already have negotiation skills. Now it's time to transfer those into the real world. I highly encourage on your training list any contracts classes that your market center offers, take those. And then read the contracts. Read the contracts and make sure you understand them and make sure that you can explain them to your clients. This is where practice comes in. So go back to job responsibility number one, build your skills and practice your conversations. Make sure you understand the contracts. So if there's a class on contracts, take it. If there's a recording of a class on contracts, watch it. But most importantly, practice. Practice writing your contracts. If it's a purchase agreement, a sales agreement, whatever they call it in your state, practice writing one, right? That is a skill that you need to build. All right. The importance of prioritization. I want to circle back to the heart of this question. The heart of the overwhelm is, where do I start when everything feels so overwhelming? Focus on mastering these 5 job responsibilities. If you're practicing your conversation, you are talking to people, generating leads, you're following up. You can go on a listing appointment. You can have a buyer strategy session and you're scheduling those appointments and you're negotiating contracts. You understand the contracts and you can explain them to your client. Then you are doing your job. You don't need to worry about every class, every event, or email that comes your way. These are your essentials. And until you master them, anything else is just a distraction. And I don't care how shiny it looks. I want you to hear this and I want you to believe this. I am delivering this to you from the bottom of my heart. There is no easy button in real estate. There are going to be a lot of carnival barkers out there that are going to tell you that they have an easy button if you just give them your credit card. There is no easy button. This is as simple, though, as it can be. 5 things. There are 5 things that you have to do. If you do these 5 things and nothing else, you will have success beyond your wildest imagination. But you have to tune out all of the distractions, all of the shiny objects. Okay. Now, you focus on mastering these 5 responsibilities. When you get that notification pinging on your watch or in your email or on your social media, letting you know about yet another webinar, you have to ask yourself, is this helping me with my core job? If it's not, take a pass for right now. Somewhere down the line, if it sounds like a really great class, then you might decide that you want to pick that up later. But right now, while you're building your business and you are a dual career or double duty agent and you are focused on doing both of these things, don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. Last piece of advice for you is that you have to trust yourself. I know, I know with absolute clarity that you've got what it takes to succeed in real estate, even as a double duty agent. The key is just to stay focused on doing the work that matters. Real estate isn't about finding easy buttons or shortcuts, it's about showing up and doing the right things consistently. And the consistently, I cannot stress, that is a big, bold word right now, consistency. You have to be consistent in these 5 job responsibilities to achieve success. If you can focus on mastering these 5 things, you'll build your business and you will achieve your goals. The overwhelm doesn't go away overnight, but when you prioritize what matters and trust yourself to stay the course, you'll be amazed at how things start to fall into place. Now, I know I made this sound really easy, and I know there's a part of you right now that's saying, yeah, but you don't understand. I need help with this. And I understand that sometimes it does take a little bit of help for clarity, a little bit of help, a system, a model, something to follow through on. I have coming up on October 24th another round of Rise of the Double Duty Agent. It is one evening on a Thursday night. We get together and I will help you. I will help you design a system that is easily workable for you so that you can rise as a double duty agent. So you can go to doubledutypodcast.com and register to save your seat. That'll be October 24th, and I will be looking forward to seeing you there. That is it for today's Coach's Corner. If you're feeling overwhelmed, remember, focus on what's going to move the needle in your business. Keep practicing, keep talking to people, generating leads, and trust the process. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, keep doing the work. You got this. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're leaving inspired and you found a key or two you're going to try out this week to see how they help you to unlock your success. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single story. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, you can find me at doubledutypodcast.com. That link is also in the show notes. Until next time, have a productive week.